up. That's what's up. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, all year, coming with another wonderful episode, NERDSoul Sports. We ain't playing, all right? But it's the end of the week. We having a good time. I'm joined by two awesome guests. In the bottom square, you know them, you love them. You know what I'm saying? The beige rage, if you will. Mark Dub from Blurtish.
Yo, it's Mark Dub, part man, part thug. Using my heart for what hearts are made for. That's the love. And man, I'm glad to be here, guys.
Word up.
Two of the coolest.
Yeah. And shout out right here, you know what I'm saying? Long Beach Hove. All right. Black Kanye. Trap Just Blaze. Parker P.L. Lewis.
What's going on, y'all? Parker P.L. Lewis here.
Yo, Trap Just Blaze. That's a lot. Just Blaze is my favorite producer, man.
One of mine too, bro.
He's
top two for me personally.
He got some jams. And of course, I wanted to give a shout out to C Brown and VA. He actually would be here with us, but there's an ice storm over there. Shouts to Central VA 804. You know, it's been snowing on and off. It's ice, so if people ain't got no power, you know what I'm saying? Much love to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I know how I get. You know what I'm saying?
Much love to VA, man.
You know what I'm saying? So he will be with us, but shouts to VA. So we got a couple topics I want to, just have some fun, have a good little time. I figured we could open up with something that I thought was, seeing where y'all at on the how should we say maturity level. Klay Thompson and Big Baby Davis. You know them, you love them. Two guys, they played on the same team. Well, lately Klay has been, Klay had some injury issues. He's been doing commentary at the games and stuff like that, which is a weird situation because he's currently playing. So it's kind of like a weird situation where it's like you're allowing him to commentate while he's also still like, it's like he's going to be playing, I don't know, whenever he gets well or whatever.
I think that's kind of cool. Keep going. I think that's cool. Keep going.
So, there's an issue that goes on in the game. I ain't going to go too far, but he makes a sly comment about that dude ain't going to be in the league too long anyway.
He ain't going to be in the league too much longer.
Hey, that was a very clever dart. That hurt hard. That hit home. I read that and I was like, ouch. He probably mad about that. He ain't going to be in the league too much longer anyway.
He was like, he ain't gonna be in the league too much longer. Ain't nobody.
Don't even worry about it.
I was like, Dad, Klay, you foul. You getting him like that? So anyway, Glenn Big Baby Davis. He's not in the league no more. And he was like, yo.
He in the big three.
I feel a certain way about this. So he decided to let his mans know. You know what I'm saying? He was like, look, I don't like what you saying out your mouth, to the point where they talking about personal threats over basketball. Now, I want to ask you guys, is this immature or is this par for the course? Because I'm sure we've all played basketball on the streets, and I've been in situations where fights have literally broke out. So is this kind of par for the course, like, yo, dudes get mad enough to fight? Or is this some more of that social media, tough guy stuff, where it's like, when you're on Twitter, you a little stronger than normal. You know what I'm saying?
Just jokes. It's just jokes. One can't play and the other one ain't gonna play because he ain't in the league no more. It's just jokes.
I mean, could he come back to the NBA? I mean, I guess he could. Could Big Baby be the first?
Big Baby?
Like, could he be the first to come back
respectfully, but his NBA days are over, respectfully.
Ain't nobody about to give him a contract. It was funny because Klay was like, oh, I don't even think Klay really realized who he was, because he was like, oh, I can't wait to play against you. I probably put 40 up against the big guy chasing me. And I'm like, yo,
Klay knew what he was saying. Klay was being smart.
Klay was trying to be slick. Klay one of them dudes
that was
another
dart.
Klay always trying to be slick. Klay one of them dudes that you went to school with. He always had something fun to say, and there really wasn't nothing you could do because he always had like the best clothes. You know what I'm saying?
Man, Klay is Caribbean. We got smart mouths. It's what we do. Please don't ever forget that, okay?
He's like, yo, look, he out there, you know, he dropping lines for folks. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, you know what, man?
I thought was kind of funny.
Big Baby is from here, man. So I know a lot of people that know him and have hung out with him, and he's a big, fun, weird dude. He's no one to take seriously, which is part of the problem in the league. Like no one was as big as he was. No one was ever scared of Big Baby. He was Big Baby
because he was a baby.
Like Kevin Garnett made him cry.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say that lightly, because Kevin Garnett probably made a lot of people cry. Kevin Garnett punched Wally Zerbiak in the eye, his own teammate.
Oh snap! Yo, he did. Wow.
KG was kind of a bully, but you know, you also like 6'8", 300 some pound man.
He won't know Ron Artest though. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, and Ron Artest needed a check. Like yo, but I love Ron, man. That was I love that dude, man. That dude there was wild.
Yo, I will never forget watching that Detroit game and being like, hold up, what's going on? Like, I'm trying to remember what happened. It was a regular foul. And I think
it was a hard foul. It was a hard foul. Artest goes and he's chilling on the
he goes to lay down on
he goes to the announcer's table. Yeah. And he's just chilling on the announcer's table. And then some fan throws a beer on him.
Yeah, a cup flies, because that's what started it. It's like that episode of Boondocks where it's like, if you throw a chair, is this fight going to break out? Like, he goes, there's a hard foul. Artest goes, lays on the table. Next thing you know, a cup flies. But if you're watching it, not like, at the time, I was working in a call center. So I was watching the TV, but also trying to work. So I'm on the phone with a customer, and I look down, working on an account. I look back up. It's pandemonium. So I saw Artest lay down, and then I'm like, you know, yes, sir, you know, let me do your thing. Let me, you know, click on something, you know, fix your service or something. Then I look back up. It's people everywhere. And I remember seeing the hit from, was it Jermaine O'Neal, where he cocked back like...
Right, he really cocked back like on the.
I said, "Good news."
On like the 80s punch, the 80s movies punch. Like,
oh man,
it was hilarious because he's all of 7 foot, so you know he cocked back to Spain and threw that punch,
bruh. And then we had this long conversation about like what should fans be able to do, not be able to do. This, that, and the third. And I'm like, honestly, anyone who got caught on camera needs to be banned at least for the rest of the year.
The sad part was...
But the NBA is like, we trying to make money, though. So what we going to do is not do that.
No. A lot of them got suspended.
There was one person that got...
A lot of them got suspended.
I thought it was only one.
Season. Huh?
I thought it was only one.
No.
I thought it was the original cup thrower. He got suspended. Or not suspended. But
Artest, Steven Jackson got suspended for most of the season. He came back towards the end and got hurt.
Oh no, not the players. I'm talking about the fans. Sorry, the fans.
I don't know, but the sad part about that whole thing was Indiana had like the best record in the NBA at that time. Like they were like the team to beat.
Yeah, Indiana was dope at the time. Yeah, Indiana was dope, man. Like, because I remember I was looking, I think one of the fans actually got banned, and I think that was it. I'm trying to remember, but I remember there was this large conversation of people were like, fans should be able to do what they want. I'm like, whoa. Dude threw a cup of beer on him, man. Like, Like, I'm just saying, I ain't saying you need to knock him out, but I'm just saying.
Right. Like,
that's like the fact. Go ahead.
That's like anywhere. You can't throw a rock and hide your hand. He threw a cup. What? He threw a beer on a 6'8", 230-pound monster.
Yeah, crazy player
Like,
too.
Ron Artest is a really big, crazy, intimidating dude, and you throw a beer on him, and what you like? It was so funny because when he retired, man, he was like, "Oh yeah, man, I used to drink Hennessy before every game." He said, guys were drinking Gatorade at halftime. I was finishing up a bottle of Hennessy.
A lot of these athletes, man, don't get it twisted, man. A lot of these athletes have a toke or have a drink or something before these games, man.
Swig.
Especially these NFL players, man.
Oh, yeah. Now, big shout out to Jenna James in the chat, ZSB Lou in the chat. Before we move to our next subject. What up? Nice to see y'all. Good to have y'all in the spot. Jenna James said Ron made a foul on Ben Wallace or Billups, I think, and then the white boy threw something on Ron while he was laying on the scores table. Ben Wallace, Ben Wallace shouts to VA. He went to VUU.
He got suspended too.
Oh, yeah. So,
yeah, and Detroit, I mean, was that after they had won a championship?
Oh, that's a good question.
I want to say this was all the year before.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Because this was they won Pistons won in 2004. I want to say all this was 2003. Either 2003 the year before or the year after.
Yeah, this is around that time. I can't remember for sure though. But ZSB Lou said facts. Rick Carlisle left the year after. Oh, snap. You know what I'm saying? So next up, I want to talk about something that used to be near and dear to my heart. Every now and then I check back in, but I'm not as tight with it as it used to be. The U.S. men's national team for soccer. You know what I'm saying? I love watching the game. I haven't caught up with the national team in a long time. I used to be a DCU fan heavy, but you know what I'm saying? Our national team has not been all that. Talking about the men's side. Now, lately, they had a game where they won against Trinidad and Tobago. And I saw a lot of people trending on the USMNT trending. I was like, oh, snap. Something must have happened. So I go look at their record because people are like, oh, they beat Trinidad and Tobago 7-0. So I'm like, oh, snap, let me go look. Trinidad and Tobago, 7-0. Then they beat El Salvador, 6-0. Then beat Panama 6-2. So I'm like, oh, snap, they killing it, right? Except when you dig deeper to what I've always said about our men's national team. You haven't fought anybody. And this is not to diss El Salvador, Panama, or Trinidad and Tobago. But for some reason, whether it's exhibitions, friendlies, or even tournament play, the U.S. stays playing the lesser known, the weaker, the less strong teams every year and wants a pat on the back for it. Don't go trending because you beat Trinidad and Tobago. Not no diss. I got some friends from Trinidad. I've heard it's a wonderful place. It's awesome. This ain't got nothing to do with that. What this has to do with is the fact that the caliber of coach and play that they have is not, it's not up to par with the U.S. team. Now, if you want to trend, go beat Spain 7-0. Beat Portugal 7-0. Germany, Sweden.
Beat Germany.
Go beat Argentina, Brazil. Come on, man. Y'all want pats on the back for beating teams that, come on, man. On a national stage every year, you should be playing bigger, better, or faster teams like the Ivory Coast and Ghana, because the last time I saw Ghana and the Ivory Coast play the U.S., them boys just got outran. Like you need to step your game up, all right? Stop playing weak teams and expecting the trend. I'm like, oh, snap, the U.S. must have been something dope. And I was like, hold up, Trinidad and Tobago? I was like, all right, let me look at their record. Then I was like, bruh, y'all ain't U.S.
You also got to look
y'all
at
ain't played nobody.
Those countries don't have the resources
True.
to train like the U.S. You know,
In the middle of a
it is
pandemic,
less
they sure
impressive
don't.
when you look at a team like you said, like Ghana, like these fast African teams, like put a couple
I
of
remember
put a
they
couple
got
of L's on
outran
them,
that
and
game.
then we can be a bit more impressed. You know, the U.S. though, in every sport, they're big propagandists.
Yeah,
Because
when I saw it trending, I was like, oh snap, they must have
them.
did something special.
The Trinidad and Tobago win means nothing. The El Salvador game doesn't mean too much. I will say the Panama win means a little something because Panama's not a slouch when it comes to soccer.
No, they're not.
They're not the best of teams either, though. Don't get it like confused. They didn't beat Brazil or nothing.
Yeah.
The thing about, like I was saying earlier, man, we got to remember too, like we're also in a pandemic. Like the whole world is in a pandemic, so not everybody is able to train as properly as possible. So you can take these victories with a grain of salt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Enjoy.
I'm like, they
You're
trending.
a fan of the
I'm
team.
like,
enjoy.
I'm like, y'all.
And then the thing with the U.S. men's national team is like, all right, let's keep it a buck. I got time tonight. Let's keep it a buck. So the men's national team, right? A lot of the good players that are of a lot. All right, a lot of the younger kids, like the teenager kids, right? That are here in the United States. A lot of them are not of American descent. Their parents are from other countries. They may be born here, but their parents are from other countries. Once their parents see that they got any kind of talent when it comes to soccer, guess who's getting shipped back to where they came from?
Or even if they stay here, guess who they're going to play for nationally?
Not us.
Nope.
They're
about to play for Spain. They're about to play for Germany. They're about to play for somebody else.
If you look at the team now, we got some studs from other countries, like playing. Like,
no, it's not rocket science why the women team are able to be so dominant and the men's team aren't.
Yeah, it's
not rocket science, man.
Yeah, which is another issue. I won't address it tonight, but that's a whole nother issue. Like there's training issues, there's issues around what women are allowed to do in other countries. There's a whole smorgasbord of issues to why you see the dominance that you don't see on the men's side. Not to take away. Look, those people are still like like my boy Ben, I can't think of his name, boxer. Man, Larry Muncher got on him one time and he was like, you just beat a bum, right? He was like, didn't he have the same amount of time to train I did? Didn't he have the same? Didn't he have the same?
Who is that?
Resources.
You talking about AB?
No, oh man, very defensive boxer. Very defensive boxer. I believe almost undefeated besides one.
You talking about Floyd? Not Floyd.
No, not Floyd. Oh, man. It's killing me. When it comes to me, I'll say his name. It's killing me right now. But I remember Larry Muncher was like, you beat a bum, right? He was like, didn't he have the same amount of time? He was like, look, he knew he was fighting. Oh, man. But, so, U.S. men's national team, like, I mean, cool, to get out there and get your legs warm, but every year you should be playing two teams from each region in very serious games. Like I know y'all like to do y'all little England friendly, but England or Britain or whatever they want to call themselves this year, GBR, whatever, they're not a top team. You need to be playing like the Netherlands, Germany, Probably Ivory Coast, Ghana.
It's a measuring stick game. I'll give it that.
Well, yeah, it's a measuring stick game. It's really
a measuring stick game.
Yeah, it's a measuring stick game. But as far as our talent, you need to be playing
they play the top teams more frequently. And don't mean
they do. Yeah, they do because they're over there. So yeah.
I think you're right. I think it is a good measuring stick.
Yeah, because it's like you need to be playing much better teams every year. Like you need to be, come on, man. You need to be playing better teams every year. Come on.
And then you have to understand too, like, all right, let's talk the elephant in the room, right? Mm-hmm. Like soccer doesn't generate any money in the United States.
True.
So nobody puts in any money in order for the players to really develop all the way to what they need to be. Like NBA play or like a basketball player, a football player, a baseball player. Like there are so many different there's AAUs, there are training facilities that are very much more accessible than a soccer facility. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Because people know that, hey, there's nothing people, the world is a selfish place if we go keep it a buck, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if people realize that I'm not going to make anything money off of, if I'm not making any money off of this, why am I putting money into it? So nobody really puts any money into the U.S. soccer team. That's why if you look at these other national teams, the teams that are really, really good, like your Brazils, your Germanys, your Frances, your Netherlands, like the top tier teams, you see the amount of money that is really put into the soccer development because that's their NBA. That's their NFL. You know what I mean? That generates revenue. It don't make no money. Nobody cares about soccer out here. Nobody.
Word. And I found I remember the boxer's name. Sorry, it was not Ben. It was Bernard Hopkins. That's who it was.
B-Hop.
That sounds like some B-Hop. That sounds like some B-Hop.
It definitely does.
It was Bernard Hopkins. Because I was like, I remember Larry Merchant was getting smart with him. And he was like, didn't he have the same amount of time to train?
Larry Merchant did not like Bernard Hopkins. And
no, man.
Like Bernard Hopkins, man, was a monster, man. He ain't dodged nobody. He ain't fight a whole lot of soup cans. He fought whoever they put in front of him.
Yeah, it was like
when he started losing, he kept taking fights.
I remember when he dropped De La Hoya. That joint was scary. With that shot to a rib shot to the ribs or whatever it was, and he dropped. But that was crazy. But anyway, you're right. These other countries, their sport is soccer or football. You know what I'm saying? So it's similar to how kind of like when it comes to basketball, we're kind of on the top because we spend a lot of money on it. You know what I'm saying? So I get you on that. It's just when I saw him trending, I was like, what? What happened? Then I was like, all right, Trinidad and Tobago. That's a crazy score. Who they played before that? Then I was like, hold up. I see a trend. Of easy teams. Like, you
know what's going to make soccer popular in the United States? I can tell you. You don't have to think too hard. I can tell you. What makes everything cool in the United States?
That's right.
When young Raheem comes through and starts doing N1 mixtape stuff
it got the flavor. Once a brother comes through with the flavor,
when he comes through with the sauce, everybody's gonna be on soccer.
Yeah, the first brother that comes through with some Ronaldinho styles or something, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be.
It's funny. Like to your point, man. I'll see where somewhere like Gatorade or Nike will have a big campaign behind a Ronaldinho or someone, big in soccer, and don't nobody care. Like they still like, even if they give them a signature shoe, that joint might sell everywhere else in the world, but they don't care here.
Like
it could be a fly shoe.
Don't say that.
Yeah, like
Don't
what is
say
it?
that. No.
What is it? EA.
We live in
EA
a melting
released...
pot. No. You can't say that. You can't say that. So, all right. So let's use Ronaldinho for example. Let's use Neymar for example.
Yeah, you got Neymar.
Let's use him for example, right? So he's one of the biggest stars in Europe, right? He has a signature shoe. If I'm not mistaken, he just dropped something with LeBron, like some special limited edition on LeBron. Yeah, man. Like, you gotta understand, like, these dude, just because American soccer means nothing to us here in the United States. The world soccer, however, is something different because you have people from all over the world that are here that stay in tune with their soccer in their home country.
Yeah, because
you understand what I'm saying? So
EA released the game that sells the most. EA released their game that sells the most for them, and it was FIFA. And I was like, yeah, it makes sense, because they were like, FIFA sells the most. They were like, because even though it's not this, every year, that FIFA boy, it'll get you. But Zias Baloo said they need a young LeBron or Tiger Woods for soccer. Yeah, it'll sooner or later it'll happen. Because I used to play, I loved it, it was fun. But the only thing is, it's a very exclusionary sport in the US. Also, when you play, you have to have a lot of kids. Unless you're gonna play kind of like when we play, you can kind of like play like on, if you have two tennis courts beside each other, you can just like play on one side, both sides of the tennis court, and just, you know, kind of like a street soccer or like a futsal kind of setup. But that's not the same as a whole field. Like, soccer field is large.
Yeah.
Real large.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ground to cover. But yeah, like once you know, we get past the point of it being so exclusionary, because I think Zias brought up that, you know, you got like LA, Florida, Dallas, and I think even DC has like these academies for these players. But like, you know, say if your kid, you know, you got a black kid and he's crazy dope, but y'all live in like Indiana. Well, you got to get all the way to Florida, you know, for this kid to play, and you got to stay there, or you got to have someone, you know, it's still, you know, the resources ain't always there for, because I mean, I used to play, we play all the time in the park and stuff. And I played 1 year, like, I guess, associated or whatever. But that's when I found out, whoa, this field is huge. This is not like playing at the park. Because in the park, you just take over the tennis area and you got your goals. You just put tape up for the goal and y'all just play. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, yo, this field is huge. I was like, where's my space? Like, I got to give love to them, because it's like figuring out your spacing when you're running and you're looking for a pass and all kinds. It's a lot, because it's just so much space. It really is. It's like, I mean, because it's larger than a football field or an American football field. It's just a lot of space. So I give them props. But you know,
man, them cats have to be in amazing shape, man.
Yeah.
They're all you
doing some
never
running.
See soccer players who aren't like in amazing shape.
Yeah. Yeah. You ain't gonna get by. You ain't gonna get by with no you ain't gonna get by with no Big Baby Davis on that joint. They ain't gonna happen.
And look at the dream, man. Akeem was a soccer player first, and his footwork was impeccable. Oh, he was killing everybody.
Man, and Zias Baloo said they tried their best to do that in the States with Freddie Adu. Yeah, I remember that. But then they played.
It wasn't the same because he wasn't born here.
Yeah, he wasn't born. He wasn't. Ooh, okay, all right.
I was back and forth between It wasn't the same.
I don't want to get on
from here.
this is not a B1 channel. I'm not here to do the whole, but there is a distinct difference when you're talking about someone who came here that is black as opposed to African American, like descendants of slaves or ADOS or FBA or you know what I'm saying. There's like a cultural difference. You know what I'm saying? And this is not to say one is better or worse. It's just saying that there's
They
a
just
cultural
didn't embrace him because he was not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he
Besides
didn't really,
the fact that he wasn't that good.
Yeah,
and
he
we
was
keep
dope.
it in a buck again.
He was dope when he first came out, but once you started matching him up nationally against other players, you started to realize like he wasn't the phenom we thought he was.
They blew him out too early.
Yeah.
They had this kid, 14, 15, 16-year-old, playing against grown men. He wasn't learning skills. He was trying to keep up with the grown men.
Yeah. And yeah, then you see him in the national team because it doesn't really work out that well. It never really, that's one of those crazy things. But speaking of kids, I did want to get into a series I started watching like the first couple episodes. It's on Netflix called We Are the Brooklyn Saints. I wanted to bring it up because we know we got somebody from Brooklyn. But Netflix has a ton of like little like sports documentaries. There's a Friday Night Tykes, which I watched and I enjoyed. It's about kids in Texas, little kids playing football. And this is about little kids, of course, playing football in Brooklyn. And it's something that I actually enjoy, man. It's always good to see the only thing is like, you guys know where I'm at with kids playing football. You know kind of where I'm at. You know where I'm at. Like, I think with the knowledge that we have now, like they say, if you know better, you do better. With the knowledge that we have now, I'm of the mind, maybe we should start phasing this out. But like PL says, do you think a $1 billion industry is going to say goodbye?
Billion.
but it is fun to just see the little kids have someone like these men that come together to kind of like coach them, be around them, you know, give them a sense of brotherhood on their team. It's, you know, I'm a sucker for that stuff. So, you know, seeing these kids, you know, come up and play, and especially have somewhere to play, you know, since they're in Brooklyn, and you see I won't even say facilities in Brooklyn. You see the patch of grass that they got in Brooklyn, and then
the
they have
spaces for them to play are very limited. That's
and then you go up to, I think they played a game in Rockaway or Rochelle. They played a game somewhere upstate, and you go there and it's like beautiful. The grass is awesome.
New Rochelle.
It's like turf. Yeah, all right, yeah, New Rochelle. So it's like beautiful. The grass is awesome. The goals is all nice and freshly painted. And just like, I'm like, you think we can't do that in Brooklyn? Of course we can, but we won't. Why? Because we have to let these kids know that we don't think that they're valuable. That's what this is about. But that's a whole other thing. But I was, you know, once again, drawn into the story of these young kids. I'll probably end up finishing the season. It's great to see the little kids playing, even though you know how I feel about football, but the team aspect and the love that these guys, these fathers, the sacrifices that they're putting into the team for all these other little kids to go like camping and to be with one another, and you see them teaching them lessons about conflict and actually being able to work together and to communicate and stuff like that. Stuff that I just love, man. I'm a sucker for that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially a young kid that played sports and all that stuff, and like, yeah, I'm a sucker for it. So it's a pretty dope show. I enjoy it. I'm 2 episodes in, and I say it's worth it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, if you already watching All American, go in and watch this too. But have either of y'all been able to check out Brooklyn Saints, or have y'all seen Friday Night Tykes?
I haven't. Go ahead.
Oh no. I haven't seen either. But it's, I mean,
Oh, word?
I love the shows that really feed into what team is, the real positive aspects about teams. I like it. I also am afraid for my kid to play football and get CTE. But it's a real thing, but no one. I guess people really don't consider it because it's such a tradition. We grew up playing football.
Yeah.
Playing without helmets, tackling the hell out of each other. And we're all like, I'm okay. If you want to play, I want to let him play. It's.
Or maybe we can evolve the game to where, like, no, because then you're kind of playing like, I don't know, like two hands.
There's no evolving of the game, man.
Yeah, you can't. You got it.
Like I think we've had this conversation before, NERDSoul. Like, I tell people point blank, my son's not playing football.
My son ain't playing football neither.
My oldest or my baby, neither one of them playing football.
He can play anything, but he ain't playing no football.
Anything.
He can play croquet. He can play
anything.
He can play no football.
Anything.
But
but
you can really, really get hurt, and it could be long-term hurt, like for the rest of your life hurt. You can possibly get brain hurt.
The thing about it is, it's like you can't get away. It's like my son won't play, my oldest won't play, but if your kid wants to play, I'll coach him. You see how? No, not me necessarily, but that's
I know
how
what you're talking
people
about.
like. My kid can't play, but if your kid want to play, I'll coach him. And I'm watching. Like that's where we're at. It's like, to the kids that are still playing football, that are still grow up loving the game or whatever the case may be, it's still a way out for a lot of people from the hood. You know what I mean? So,
and they even said that in the show. Like, our job is to hopefully get these kids some free college. That's our job, to try to get them some free college.
At minimum.
Yeah. Because it's like, look, if we could get y'all a free education, at least you got an opportunity to, well, maybe, because college, I got my thoughts on college too. But depending on how you work college,
it's expanding. Like, the college game is, it's loosening up a bit. Yeah. In the sense that now that they have insurance policies for seniors. So let's say, like, if you're going to be drafted within like the top 15 picks or top first round, I want to say, you can go out and now get health insurance or medical coverage. So let's say you get hurt at any point during your senior year, you can go cash out. So that's kind of cool. Like, that's one of the few, like, it's as a former college student that was amongst football, it's like everything is about playing in the NFL or making it to that next level. Yeah. So now that they're offering these different things, it's kind of cool. I mean, the NCAA sucks in general. Like, it's a greedy machine, but they have, at this point, with athletes gaining more and more power, they have to loosen up more and more restrictions.
And I mean, we're at a point where some schools are paying kids to play. Finally.
Yeah.
I mean, schools have always been paying kids.
Schools have always paid kids. The issue is
to this day.
The issue is when we want to bring down the hammer and show that we mean business, it's always going to be on the kids that,
can't keep their mouth shut.
Because
USC Trojans.
It's like, whenever you see, all these kids just living it up. Where do you think they get the ability to live it up from? These boosters. These boosters, they throw these parties and people get, people
USC,
get
them
people
USC
get
kids
envelopes.
messed it up for everybody
Get,
for a little bit. It's kind of back on schedule right now, but man, them USC football players, man, they low key messed it up for everybody for a little bit.
Yeah, there. As someone who's had many friends that went to play college and a couple that went pro, because if you guys follow college football, Virginia Tech is known for like churning out linemen. So like it's nothing to go to an event, and when you finish the event and you get your coat back, your coat has something in the pocket.
Of course.
Or when you go to an event, or when you get back from an event, all of a sudden you have a letter from back home, and the envelope looks kind of thick. Maybe Mama must have wrote a long letter. You know what I mean?
A long letter.
So
I love when Mama writes. Oh, Mama writes the best letters. Mama.
You get these special envelopes from somewhere, and so
hey man, they got a car lot here owned by a former player for the biggest school in the state. And he has a friends of the program type deal. That if you are a friend of the program, you get a brand new car for like a really great deal.
A friend of the program,
right? So I mean that happens.
Just a little friendship. That's all. But when you go get your own, all of a sudden it's an issue. You know what I'm saying? When you go get your own, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I mean, but it is a problem. All right, man. Cause man, if we keep it in real, man, there's codes to this stuff. Like like me, I'm weird. I know you call me conspiracy people, man. I kind of relate everything to like the streets. Everything gets taken back to the block with me, like everything. So if you're getting money, right? Like what did homeboy say? How did homeboy get caught? Because he went to the fight with the fur on, right? He was making all that money, all this money, living life. Yeah. As soon as he went to the fight with the fur on, they was on his head.
Yep.
Like sometimes you just gotta move in silence, especially when you getting it.
Just get the money. I've never been mad at getting the money from these programs because they're earning these programs. Some of these programs, I mean, it millions. Some of these are programs that are $1 billion programs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'd be like, come on, man. Like, come on, son.
Just keep it on the tuck.
Yeah, you just got.
That's all you gotta do.
So one more topic I wanted to address. This is a little because we missed last week. The NBA, of course, is still going. You know, you had your Super Bowl, but the NBA is still going. There's been a lot of talk about the All-Star game. Should we or should we not have the All-Star game? I'm of the mind of like, it's not super necessary. Maybe we can do some individual stuff in like, in individual stadiums or something. But we don't have to bring all these people together because we know there's a pandemic going on. And we just, at least from what I know, just got down from having another surge. So like maybe we should just do three-point competition, everybody in their own stadium. Maybe you could do the skills competition, everybody in their own stadium. I don't know, something, but you can't, maybe it's not a good idea to bring everybody together. But I mean,
I got a good idea. I got an idea, man. I'm glad that we got to this topic, right? Because I think I have an incredible idea.
All right.
So we know now that they've scheduled a date. They're actually going to go ahead and go through with an all-star game. They're going to have the 3-point competition and the slam dunk competition during halftime of the game.
All right.
So I think they're of the mind of everybody, like all the festivities being in one night on Sunday, and then like everybody come in on Saturday, play the game or do your activity on Sunday and be out by Monday or Sunday night. You understand what I'm saying? In and out, just to eliminate everybody, the potential of people getting sick, right?
Yeah, but you only need to be around them one time.
Here's my idea, right?
All right.
So the world is already in the process of getting vaccinated, right? So the world is in the process of healing, correct?
Right.
Now we are in February. If we did the All-Star game like the NFL did the Pro Bowl at the end of the season, I think it will be a much better thing, right? Or a much healthier scenario. So the NBA season will be done. The actual season will be done in like June. I want to say finals and stuff.
Yeah,
finals is
like
like
always
July, because I know the Olympics is in July. So the actual season may end in like March, maybe April, somewhere around there. I'll call it April. So instead of having the All-Star game like in the middle of the season, have it at the end of the season. So all the guys who aren't take the best guys who aren't going to the Olympics and have this be like a consolation prize. Like, hey, you didn't make the Olympic team, but hey, you're an all-star.
Hey now.
Get your game on, go play.
Oh man. It's just ZSB Lou said ATL thoughts and clout chasers already booking hotels and flights for that weekend.
Oh,
man.
it's litty.
Oh yeah.
Man,
Hey,
it's
that's
gonna be so
litty.
They trying to eat.
Man.
They trying to eat. They trying to find him a husband.
I mean, I guess if you're gonna have it, what you could do is just make sure that everybody shows up. Just going to have the CDC, because the CDC is based at Atlanta anyway. Going to have the CDC at the airport, give everybody their first shot when they show up, and then when they leave, give them their second shot when they leave. It's like, y'all here already. Let's go and just mobilize. Be like, welcome to Atlanta. Click up. Click up. Now, unless you don't know how this vaccination going to work out, because I'm sorry, people can be as mad as they want. I just want to wait and see a little bit, because I know how the U.S. government has been when it comes to medicinal issues pertaining to black folks. So I'm just saying, I got to keep my third eye. Just make sure. But I haven't heard nothing crazy about people dying and stuff, so I guess we all right. You know what I'm saying? Let's wait till them second shots start rolling through and see what we're looking at. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, let's just wait a little bit.
My mom got her second shot last week.
Word, everything cool?
She's good to go. And her and a bunch of her friends. So
all right, word, cool. So,
everybody's good.
I ain't heard nothing crazy about people dying and stuff, so I'm like, all right, it might be all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, because they'll throw some blankets on you real fast and act like they don't remember history. You know what I'm saying? They'll experiment on women all day and night, not tell them nothing. Say, oh, you're in the military. Oh, we got a special shot for you. We're just doing a little. Don't worry about it.
Henrietta Lacks, Tuskegee experiment.
Yep. So it's like, man,
black people literally really do have ample reason to not trust this government when it comes to vaccinating.
I mean,
and saying just trust.
Still ain't clean.
The Tuskegee experiment ended in 1974. That wasn't that long ago.
It's not like, oh, he said allegedly. Allegedly. It's like, that's why it's like, look, I ain't gonna front. And I'm sure PL, you would say, when my child was born, I was like, all right, what's in that syringe? Where's the ingredient thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you buy some cereal, you got the ingredients. What are the ingredients on that?
Facts.
Like I want to see
the whole
what's
printout.
in there.
I need the whole printout, please.
I need I need to know what's going on. What you put? Does he have to have that? I'll be like, look. Don't make me come up in here. I'll hurt y'all. but yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I haven't heard anything bad about it yet, so we should be okay. Even though now we have new strains and stuff, so who knows how that's going to play out. But you know, doing the All-Star game at the end of the season, I think probably is better because, especially in this case, dude, regardless of, you know, they have to know, regardless of the amount of days, you're creating a super spreader event. Like, and I guess here's the thing. You can't get mad at these people having parties and wanting to arrest people in the Hollywood Hills for having super spreader events, but then allow the NBA to have one. You can't have it both ways. You gotta.
But here's the thing, though, right?
Especially
for the All-Star game, like all these dudes are gonna be quarantined. Like if you make the team and you go to Atlanta for that weekend or whatever they calling it, you will be quarantined. So if you're a player, how you can't go out. All the events are going on, everything going on around you, and you stuck in your room.
If the real MVP, and he shall always be the real MVP to me, Lou Williams, for basketball reasons, not for basketball reasons.
Yeah.
If Lemon Pepper Lou can't go get no wings, should we even have an All-Star game?
Because here's the thing.
And from Magic City,
he got to send a runner to get the wings. He got to send a runner to get the wings this time, man. He got to send a runner to get the wings.
Because it's like, even though the players are supposedly, you know, quarantined, you're still bringing people into a city that would normally not be there, and all of them ain't gonna wear their mask. Shoot, let's keep it a super buck. Most of them probably ain't wearing their mask. It don't match my suit, dog.
Nah, it's NBA protocol. They kind of have to wear To get in the arena, down on this stuff now.
Yeah, in the arena, yes.
But
I'm talking about all of those outer events that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have the All-Star game. Mm-hmm.
If I could own a team, right? Mm-hmm. My team cost me almost hundreds of millions of dollars to $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
You think I'm letting my star player just no?
And no, I'm not talking about the stadium. I'm talking about the All-Star game itself creates an atmosphere of also outer game.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. The players that will make the All-Star team will be quarantined 24. They will not be allowed to leave. These are my best players. You think I'm letting them go run the streets of Atlanta with everybody partying?
You're about to have some Kyrie Irving. They're going to disappear. Hey, I'm telling you.
You know what? You really might be on to something. Because look, LeBron is spoken out against it. Giannis, them cats.
Look,
that's a big fun weekend for them. It ain't gonna be no fun. That's like LeBron. My heart is not even in.
I'll be there in body only, but not spirit.
Look, ZSB Lou said Harden gonna fake an injury to go support his business partner stripper, aka former Wild N' Out model, to hit her new club at her new club / real estate broker business opening.
Hey. Shout out to James Harden, fam.
Yo, and then
shout out to James Harden.
Jenna James said, LMAO, all I know is they better hope those of us in the black population that do take the vaccine don't turn into mutants or they in a rude awakening for them powers. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, look, don't let me get my powers, man. I'm telling you.
I'm still waiting on my December 21st powers.
Yo, if I roll up like Goku, just look, it's over. All right, it's over. I'm saying, look, police brutality is over, son. I'm just letting you know.
Well, they finally admitted.
They're gonna be like, yo, he saw police brutality in the night.
NERDSoul, they finally admitted that the X-Men was about us.
Yeah, they've been like, cause you know, people been trying to be like, oh, well, you know, we don't really know what Stan Lee meant. It's like
No, we do.
It's like Stan Lee kind of, and he kind of already stated like, yo, you know, like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, you know, Professor X, and Magneto. He already kind of outlined it, but like people are like, nah, you know, he probably ain't mean it like that. No, he said it. He meant it like that. It's like, yo, look, man, look. All I'm saying is, let me get my powers on. Let me get my powers. Now I'm gonna be good. That's all I need. Let me get my powers. I'm gonna be good.
That's it.
And all I need, my powers. You know what I'm saying? Let me get them joints. And then, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like Black Lightning out here, except I'm gonna have an outfit on. And then when cops try to beat up a little kid, I'm gonna be like, I've had enough. Like, ha! But you know what I'm saying? That's for when I'm practicing for when I get my powers. And I gotta juice up and my head going, and they're like, yo, is that brother glowing? That brother is flying now.
I know he activated his powers.
Oh, he activated. Like,
he's activated.
But with that said, guys, that's it. That's all we got. You know what I'm saying? Chilling, kicking it, talking up some sports. Had a good time. Got Jenna James, shout out to you. ZSB Lou, shout out to you. And before we get up out of here, shout out to this man beside me right here. You know him. You love him. He's rocking the Wizards today. Interestingly, not Brooklyn, but the Wizards.
Nah, shout out to the GOAT, man. Shout out to the GOAT.
Yeah. Who at that time was still actually putting up some numbers.
Factories. Don't. It's LeBron. Yeah, LeBron. LeBron's the GOAT. Just let the kids have it. You know. Just let the kids have it.
Whoa. Let's not sleep on LeBron though, because the Lakers.
I didn't say that. That's not what I'm saying. What I was trying to say was that we all know that this man here is the GOAT. As much as he broke my heart as a Nets fan, we gotta keep it a buck. He's the GOAT. Right? But you know, these kids today will argue you down and back and forth that I'm LeBron. You kind of just gotta let them have it at this point, man.
LeBron is the new GOAT, man. LeBron is the new GOAT. Man. You gotta give it to him.
LeBron for me is the GOAT for everything he does outside of basketball. But if we talking about purely playing the game, yeah, it's Wizards 23 is still GOAT.
Wizards 23 was still nice, man. You know what I mean?
There's a story about that dude when he was who was it? It was Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. You know, was the number 2 pick, and was they were in practice, and he was talking noise, and he said something about not even MJ wants some of this. And MJ got wind of it. MJ told him. MJ trained for 2 weeks, got into basketball shape, played Michael Kidd-Gilchrist one-on-one in his 50s.
Donut.
And give him Nathan.
Donut.
And was like, son, I am the GOAT. You gonna respect me. They wheeled him out of there on a gurney with an IV. He was dehydrated. But he went and worked out and got himself back in shape just to whoop that young boy ass and let him know what it is.
Yeah, that's
competitive.
Yeah, I'm not trying to singular, play my kid. Yeah, there's a singular mindset that he has that I think is kind of a once in a lifetime thing. But I don't think he has LeBron has a different type of player mindset. But once you add his solo stats, plus his team stats, plus how he's changed the game of basketball for players, not owners, and what he's done on the ground for people in Cleveland, dude is on his Muhammad Ali stuff now. Like, he's kind of trying to be the people's champ at this time. Like,
he's the off the court GOAT.
Like,
I love it.
Zia said there's a GOAT of Mount Olympus and a GOAT of Mount Zion. Oh man. So, but yeah, it's anyway.
I like that one.
Anyway, down below we got Mark Dub. What's up?
Hey y'all. Mark Dub on IG. Mark Wallace on Facebook. Space Age 3K on Twitter. I'm not changing it. I said I was gonna change it to be consistent. I'm consistently Space Age 3K on Twitter. Y'all follow me, holla at me. I'm fun. I'm one half of Blurtish.
Yeah, don't
one
forget
half
about
of Lab Radio.
Keith's gonna come up in here mad at people. So, but with that said, NERD SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. Thank you for rolling through. Podcast for that. Listen, Spotify for that music. We got some Arckatron for y'all. Until next time, from us, you were just
Help
saying,
the Bear 222.
Oh, yeah. What is it, 22 or 29? 22.
222.
222. New album, son. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on a little bit of it. So, haha.
Hey.
So, for us to you, we're just saying thanks for rolling through and peace.
Peace.
Y'all be good out there. All right.